Foo Fighters. All my life on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and of course, Karl Pilkington. Ooh, have we got a show for you today?
What have we got planned?
Loads of stuff, and 2 hours of it.
Right.
And all the records.
But specifically, what sort of stuff have you planned for us? Because I know you've been working hard.
What have you done?
Because you know, I've been busy this week. I've been house hunting. I've been various things, but I know you've had the whole week off.
Right.
So what have you been up to? Like,
go on, Karl. Karl, tell them what we've got. Tell them what we've planned. All the stuff you've done.
What have you got?
But Rick, specifically, what have you come up with? Quick, because people are getting bored. Tell us what you've...
I've come up with, the music.
Right. Obviously we've already planned that. We planned that last week, so that's all done. But what have you yourself contributed to today's show? I
got a text message today from Ross Noble. You know Ross Noble, the comedian, who's on. Have I got news for you?
Right.
He says, ask Karl if he woke up with ladies' boobs, would he just put a dress on and live as a lady, or would he just be a man but with these boobs?
Karl, it's a good question. I know that happened to Ross, so he's throwing that one out at you.
It did in a way, because he ate pizzas for a year, didn't he?
Yes, he did, yeah.
And he got a lovely pair of breasts. Yeah. Go on.
Probably just find a loose-fitting jumper, go to the doctor's.
What would you say to the doctor? How would you explain this phenomenon to the doctor? So you'd be happy with this, because you believe in, shite, like,
happening.
Go on.
But it can happen, because I told you a couple of weeks ago how it can happen. How you can wake up with breasts if you're a fella. I told you.
Go on.
Haven't you remembered?
No. Funny that, innit? Go on.
Have you, Steve?
No, I don't remember this. Did you tell us on air?
Yeah. It can happen if you go to Argentina and have a steak. You can wake up with breasts. Because
I'm sure I'd have remembered that.
Pull the other one. Look, he likes that.
Is that what you've come up with this week? That joke?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Play a record. It's going to be a dynamite show.
Listen, look, I'm going to play some classic tunes today. I'm going to educate the youngsters, Steve. Right, now, you've all heard of Lou Reed, you've all heard of Velvet Underground, but, you know, have you heard of Venus in Furs, Karl?
Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather.
Venus in Furs. Velvet Underground. What a great start. What a classic song.
They continue to sound fresh and contemporary.
Do you know what that song's about, Karl?
No.
M&S. M&S.
It's about M&S.
You know that?
Yeah.
You know the shop?
Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah.
Whiplash, Smile and all that, all the things you can get at Marks and Spencer's.
Shiny boots of leather.
Yeah. Being whipped.
Yeah. I think that's a new division they've opened.
Yeah, but we have got a great show lined up, haven't we?
No,
we have. No, because we've got, Rockbusters coming up, the great new
looking
quiz.
Forward to that.
That's made the press.
Has it?
Frimley Tea Room's newsletter mentioned it. We've also got,
that's Karl's local, isn't it?
Yeah. We've also got, Educating Ricky, where Karl educates me. The one last week, a girl, right? She was deaf, and she was had an argument with her mum, and she pushed her and she hit her head, and then she can hear again.
Yeah.
Don't know what I learnt from that.
No.
It might be subliminal, something might be going, it might be a metaphor that I will learn from.
Yeah, it's like a parable.
Yeah. So, look at his face. We might as well be talking Dutch, mightn't we, Karl? Say something quick, it's radio.
I don't understand what you want from me.
Oh, we're only joking.
Right, so, Educating Ricky, I've worked a bit harder this week, we've got some good stuff.
Okay.
I'll give you the
teaser headlines later.
Headlines in a bit.
Yeah.
So you've got Rockbusters as well.
Karl's having a bit of a stressful week, because he thinks he's not appreciated, because he gets in at, what time do you get in? About 8 or 9, don't you?
I've been busy this week, I've been in at about 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and you've been leaving when?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, you're in Saturday.
Yeah, I'm in now.
You get paid, don't you?
I'm busy at home at the moment.
A lot of people work late, Karl. A lot of people work 12-hour days.
Why are you busy at home, Karl? What are you up to?
Because we're trying to sort out a move. I've been trying to call round this morning to get someone to buy a futon on a table from me.
Yes. Well, we could put that appeal out now, couldn't we? If anyone wants to buy a futon or a table.
Just think, a futon that Karl Pilkington slept on.
How much you asking?
Whatever.
Well, you need
for the two. You've got to take the two. I don't want, like, different people coming round and that.
Sure, wasting your time.
You've got to buy a futon on a table.
It's quite specific, isn't it? Someone has to want a futon. Yeah. The specific futon you're selling and the table.
It's like a teas made, isn't it? Alarm clock and tea maker. This is futon and table.
Looking for about 100 quid.
And it's good condition, the futon.
Yeah.
Right, no
not
stains on it. You haven't pissed yourself in the, no.
No, nothing? And what kind of table, what sort of table is it? Are we talking like a table for a lounge, a dining table?
No, for like a computer, and just, you know, something...
Has it got any drawers? Are there any drawers? There's no drawers?
No, it's just a nice wooden table.
Right, is it kind of oak, or is it sort of an IKEA sort of thing?
No, it's like oakish.
It's oakish?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, 100 quid.
The Futon is just a mattress and the pallets. Yeah?
Yeah, but it's not. You see, you get cheap Futons, don't you? But this is a good one. It's
how much would that have retailed for when you purchased it?
I think I paid about $2.50 for it.
Right, so it's a bargain.
Well,
for people.
if you look at it,
and how long have you had it? How old is it?
This is a whole new strand.
Well, I'm thinking.
I don't think it's legal. I don't think we should use.
I'll tell you what I'm interested in, Rick. Is just finding out a little bit about the sort of thing that Karl's got in his home. You know.
I'm interested in if people will phone up to spend £100 just to go round
Karl's house.
No, I won't be. No.
What?
No, they'll come here. I'll bring it to work, and they can pick it up here.
I'm going to bring a futon and a table to work. Don't you ride a bike
So hold on, we need someone with a van now.
Yeah.
So we need, is anyone who wants to, but they're not allowed around your house, can they meet you next door? Someone with a van who,
could they meet you in your street somewhere?
Hold on, could they meet you with what about the little Chinese fellow that lives across the road, on the two bouncers and the old woman who's dead reading a book? Could you meet him somewhere?
I've got an idea. What about if you meet at the end of your street, you blindfold them, like they do when terrorists take the negotiator to the hideout.
The big cheese.
And so you could do that, and so, you know, they could piece together maybe where you live from the sounds and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But, what about that, Karl? That's just a great idea.
Yeah.
And would you sign the futon for people, do you think? Would you give them a little signature? Or maybe at least a bill of purchase?
You could sign the pallet.
Yeah. Or, I could try and get work to buy it off me, and then we give it away for Rockbusters.
Do you think they do that? Do you think they do that? I think they'd probably do it for Foxy with his big
Well, imagine how big that would be.
Imagine if he wanted to sell his hog.
Yeah. That is a motorbike, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's been selling his hog for money for years, hasn't he? Oh dear.
So, well, we'll see about that.
So, if people are interested, maybe email, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you're interested in futon.
Buy Karl's futon competition, £100 ONO.
Exactly.
Yeah? Yeah?
What gear have we got anyway?
I never knew what that meant, ONO. I thought it went sort of on the nose.
On the
nose.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Tell me what we got to give away, Steve.
So actually, I have to say, you've excelled yourself this week.
Richard Ashcroft's single coming up soon after this. Go on.
Since when have you taken to talking like that? It does amuse me.
Go on.
This is a nice little collection here. This is a 3 DVD set. David Attenborough's The Life of Birds, Trials of Life, and Life in the Freezer.
That's a good one, isn't it?
That's a selection of animal-based documentaries.
Yeah.
We've got... And this
what is best at?
Well, absolutely.
I hate when he goes off the ball and does, like, fast cars.
This is, very, very good indeed. This is a best of David Bowie compilation.
It is a very good, it's a proper one, not the rubbish ones that no one else wanted. This is a brilliant compilation of the Bowie.
Selection on there. We've got this. Now this looks like a Madness. Oh no, it's far worse than we could possibly have imagined. It seems to be some kind of tie-in with the Our House Madness musical.
And it's a cast of 20 people who wanted to be singers.
It's tricky to find out. I can't figure out if it's the originals or not, but needless to say, if you're a Madness fan, I'm sure that'd be an absolute treat.
You love that.
Now I know that,
Steve, I wouldn't mind that DVD collection myself, but I can't. It's the giveaways that, no, we can't.
I'm talking of great compilations. What about this? It's Country Legends. I'm seeing on the front there Glenn Campbell, we've got Dolly Parton, we've got, whatchamacallit? On the front.
Whatchamacallit?
from a great performer.
Yeah.
Jake, whatchamacallit.
Oh, excellent.
Some great hits from him. So, that's there as well.
What a collection.
That's same XFM compilation, again, easy to get hold of.
But the big one, the film that Karl picks every week. The big
DVD movie this week.
Don't go out tonight if you've got a DVD player and a television set, because you'll be staying in and watching this fantastic film.
It will tear your soul apart. It's Hellraiser. The original Hellraiser. Bear in mind, it has been on Channel 4 and Channel 5 and on most cable channels since it came out. But if you haven't seen it, if you're one of the only people who has not seen it, and of course you have to be over 18 to play, then you can win Hellraiser.
That is fantastic. Well, play a song, Karl. We'll come back to that. More great stuff.
Indeed. The competition coming up later. Email only, isn't it, Karl?
Yeah, absolutely. Futon.
Futon's still available.
Richard Ashcroft. Check the meaning. Well, Karl, you're chuffed, aren't you? What's happened? What's just happened? Tell the listeners what's happened.
This has sparked you up a bit.
Steve's just called up. He's putting an offer for the futon and the table.
Yeah.
I think he definitely wanted it, but I said, look, you know, think about it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
you're not a hustler.
No, well, I'm not going to rush him into it, because once he's got it, he can't bring it back. I'm not messing about.
No.
The bloke said, what sort of wood is it? Karl said, sort of like a light brown colour. He went, what, beach coloured? Karl went, depends what beach you're on. Which was nice.
You do understand there's a wood that's called beach.
Well, he's happy, he likes the sound of it, nice plum cover. He's gonna be,
Yeah. It's Karl going, I'll go with Magnolia, you always made it, he's just going, I'll tell you what, looked nice in your spare bedroom. It was like an episode of Changing Rooms. It was like listening to an episode of Karl.
He did the deal in under 3 minutes, wasn't it?
It was pretty good, didn't he?
He phoned it about halfway through in that song, so you worked pretty quick, Karl, I gotta say. It's your Manx scally way.
I'm sure we're not allowed to do this, though.
No, I think it's highly criminal.
Yeah.
Have you got anything that you get?
Well, I'll tell you, I am moving shortly, so I mean, I might come in next week. I could have a couple of
I threw away a desk the other day.
I gotta get rid of a bed, a chair, because you know I'm pretty tall. This is so pathetic. When I moved up to London, my dad said, well, you want to be careful, because I mean, the seating in a lot of these London pads, it's bad seating, very low backs, fashionable, isn't it? Fashionable chairs and stuff. You're a big guy, 6'7", you need like a decent chair. We went to a shop, it was like a second-hand furniture shop, right? I bought this chair, very high backed.
Why did you buy that? For a solo, I love that.
It's just a chair, so I could sit in my room and watch TV.
But was it a soft chair, or was it a wooden chair?
It was kind of like a sort of, well, let me explain, because it's kind of like an armchair, but it's kind of got wooden arms. So I get this chair, I bring it up to London, I'm thinking, this is a great chair, this is a wonderful chair. I'm gonna be watching TV, everyone else is gonna be in agony.
You know,
but I got this lovely chair, right? And I brought it up, and someone went, they looked at it, they went, isn't that an orthopedic chair? And I looked at it again, right, and I realised, it's kind of white cleanable. It's made of some kind of fabric that allows you to just mop it down with a wet cloth.
Why?
Because I think it came from an old people's home.
Oh.
You know when you see, like, old people in some kind of social room in an old people's home, just sat watching a little crappy old TV, and you can wipe everything clean. It's one of those chairs.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if anyone's, maybe they've got an elderly relative.
Didn't you keep slipping off?
Just goes like, and it's also the most uncomfortable chair because unless you've got chronic back pain, it's just the most uncomfortable chair. It makes you sit bolt upright, if not slightly forward.
You've done a good sell on it. I think either the phones are going mental. How much do you want for that, Steve?
If you've had a recent accident, or you've got a disabled, or someone in the house who's just elderly, then you might want to get in touch. I'm happy to. You can take that off, man, for 25 quid.
This is so wrong.
25 quid. I'll take that. Whether you're setting up an old people's home, you know, it's a little pet project.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of grant, and we can help.
Exactly.
We can I mean, and because though Steve's such a high flyer, I mean, if it really is a good cause, they just give it to you.
Well, let's not rush into anything, really. I like to assess each case, you know, individually.
Yeah.
But certainly if you are a charity, then I might go for 20 quid. You take it off my hands for 20 quid. But otherwise 25, and I tell you, it's in good condition, because I haven't really sat on it.
5 quid off if you really are.
You know, and there were some stains, I've wiped them clean.
You know, so, oh dear. Well, that's fantastic. So
I'll tell you what we should resuscitate next week, Swap Shop. The multicoloured swap shop.
Honestly,
it's a great format.
But there's a couple of things I've always wanted to get back at. Swap Shop is one of them, and the other one is Superstars.
I don't remember Superstars.
Superstars was great, because it was like the people of their time. So you'd have like people like nowadays, you'd have Beckham and what's his name? Who's the tennis player?
Rosetsky?
Yeah, Rosetsky, and they have to compete, so all these people have to compete at each other's sports, and they have to choose 7 out of 10 sports. And there's a leaderboard, and there's a big final. Oh, Keegan came off his bike.
It's not like it's
used to win it. No, it's real sports.
It's
proper sports. It's 100 metres, tennis, weightlifting, all the real sports. You can't do your own sport.
Well, I know you're a pretty big guy now in British TV. You're a bit of a big shot. What do you reckon? Pull some strings?
Let's get it back on there. Superstars.
Superstars, sounds fantastic.
Me, Johnny Vegas, Peter Kay. For the bigger fella, I think, maybe. The comedy superstars. What we got next? We've got a bit of Springsteen, haven't we?
Let's play Springsteen. This is a track from his current album, The Rising. A lot of people think Bruce is a bit MOR, a bit middle of the road or whatever, but, you know, I just think, piss off.
Yeah.
I just think, screw you, let's play it.
Yeah, get lost, you.
Yeah.
Imagine this, you're open top caddy.
Yeah,
you're just going around
country.
Route 66. You're going home maybe for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
To see your folks. Just turn up the radio, if you are.
Play the tune,
Probably not, though.
That just reminded me when I brought so stop it for a second. Just realised, when I brought a woman back, and she saw the orthopedic chair. You bring a woman back to your pad, oh, it's embarrassing.
And the harness.
Yeah. And the truss.
Yeah, and can you give me those 2 splints? I'm sorry? Those 2 splints there. Well, I've got to go, have you?
Is this a potty under the bed? The Rising, title track from Bruce Springsteen's current album,
Great
The Rising.
track.
Yeah, it's good.
Great. It's that feeling of it's melancholy and uplifting. We've had quite an interactive show so far because we've got a call that Superstars is coming back. It's due to come back in the BBC schedules, which is great news. Apparently, Steve Redgrave is one of them. I just don't think will professional footballers be allowed to take part these days, though. When they're on 50 grand a week, you can't really have them falling off bikes and their ankles, can you?
Ian McCaskill last night.
Yeah, I'm slippery thick glove, yeah.
Ian McCaskill.
Oh, he fell off his bike about 3 times, didn't he? Oh, did you see Slippery Thick Glove?
No, I haven't seen it.
There was a great moment where they had to go into a thing called a bod pod, and you sit in it, looks quite space age, and it analyses you, and it tells you percentage body fat. Now, I think, men are meant to be about, sort of, 15 to 25% body fat, women are meant to be like about 20 to 30 body fat. And they all went in there, and, it went in there and it said, Ian McCaskill, and it came up, 34% body fat or whatever. Slightly overweight. I'm gonna come to the 38% overweight. Then it went, the other one, 45% body fat, obese. Then it went, Jono.
Did it say, I don't want to tell you?
Yeah, yeah. And then it went, 50% body fat, very obese. Then Rick Waller was sat in there, and it came up 60% body fat. And I wanted it to come up slug.
Oh, God.
But it came up morbid at 60, you are 60% fat.
So 60% of him is fat?
Yeah. 60% of his entire makeup.
That's extraordinary.
It is,
well, you know my feelings about Waller.
Well, let's get on to him.
Well, that's the reason I don't watch the show, actually.
I do feel a bit sorry for him, and he is, I think he is trying, although the fella there, thinks he's not trying. So I don't know who to believe, Steve.
Sure. Yeah,
I don't know who to believe Waller, and he does get pains and that, and he is a bit...
The problem is, right, he does like his food.
Yeah, we all like our food.
But if he didn't do the exercise, he wouldn't be as hungry, and he might not get fat.
This is a whole new nutritional outlook.
Absolutely.
So you're saying, don't exercise and carry on eating, and that's interesting. Let me write that one down. I will send that to the British
Nutritional Organisation.
Yeah, no, that's good. Carl Pilkington. Okay, well, no, that's a good...
I'm no doctor or anything.
Whoa,
Yo, come off it. Stop being so bloody modest.
Please.
You are a doctor. You're not a doctor, seriously. You didn't qualify. That's interesting.
You dropped out early, or?
That's mad. That is mad.
I mean, you're as good as doctor, you just didn't get the paperwork or whatever. You just didn't turn up for the exam.
He was just saying that Bruce Springsteen, depressed him a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it reminds him of when he worked in the supermarket. And, I said, it's funny how a song can do that, take you right back there. He went, yeah, nothing else can do that. I said, well, actually, smell is the most evocative sense, because smell is linked to memory in the brain. And he went, yeah, they probably said that before music, though. And now all science are going, we better revisit this, because there's music now.
Yeah.
We've had this theory knocking around for, 10,000.
I went to see Bruce, you'll be pleased to know. I just want the fans of the show to know that I did make it to Bruce Springsteen's concert last week. And, he started with that song we just played, and it was dynamite. I mean, he never let up. Almost 3 hours, he rocked the joint. He's 53, he was sliding across, it was pure rock and roll. Pumping our fist, sliding across the floor on his knees, he was jumping on the piano. It was real Jerry Lee Lewis rock and roll. And, it was dynamite. And, I just was looking around though, and when I am the trendiest person at a gig...
Oh dear.
Then I'm in trouble, do you know what I mean? And there was some of the people there, I imagined, on Amazon.com, it says like, people who bought X also bought Y.
Yeah.
And I think people who bought tickets for Bruce probably bought tickets for Mark Knopfler.
Yeah,
Dave Gilmour.
Yeah,
Pink Floyd, without Pink Floyd.
But
Stevie Nicks.
But there's also, but then there's also, all the monsters rock. They probably buy Stones when they visit,
Yeah,
and probably Tina
It's the
Turner.
blue wash jeans.
Yeah.
You know, it's the small waistcoats. Over a denim shirt.
Plaid shirt, maybe sort of like Timberlands. Nothing wrong with Timberlands, that's libelous.
Sure.
No.
Sure.
See, I've done it again.
Yeah. But so it was hell getting out. I couldn't find, I mean, I went to the Tube, and it was a nightmare, because some of the tubes weren't running. I just said to my friend, I'll sod this, stormed off, trying to find a cab, couldn't find a cab, wandering around Wembley, just livid, I mean fuming, because I couldn't find a cab. I was screaming, because I was going, I've got money, I'm on the radio, I've had a TV show, I've got the cash, I'm willing to spend it, there's no one who can help me get home. And I was
I've seen him shout this in Brewer Street, just to standing in the middle, go on.
And I was thinking to myself, what would you have done there? Because in the end, I just sat in a little cafe, had something to eat. But you, I mean, if you couldn't get a cab, what would you have done? Just because there's a couple of, I was looking, there was a couple of hotels near Wembley. I was thinking you'd have just checked in.
Yeah, and just, and
stayed till the morning.
Yeah, when there's a cab, let me know.
But I was thinking, because you were thinking of going, would you have booked a cab beforehand?
Yeah.
Would you have thought to do that?
Yeah, I'd have got a cab there and I'd have booked a cab
Wouldn't
somewhere.
the helicopter just took you back home?
Yeah.
Oh, he's having a dig, isn't he?
He's having a laugh, isn't he?
Blimey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play the ads.
Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, innit?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, educating Ricky next, Carl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just
Teach
explain,
me something.
obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Karl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
And yeah,
Educating Rita.
each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is, abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Oh, get a lobe of
I'm
Get a lobe of this.
It's a classic. Who
Yeah.
can forget? Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And stocking 8 Waterman. Go on.
Second one.
Yeah.
I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Alright, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could see. Can't we get Karl on telly?
There's got to be a way.
We cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's
Right,
let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just a little, just Karl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it, I think.
Don't worry about him, he candle it.
He candle it.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase, burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man
Well,
who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get
No.
two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
I know what
is,
it means. It means you're doing too much. You're staying up too much.
Right.
You're not getting enough sleep, and you're
Well, years ago,
yeah.
when they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah. What year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles
When
in
did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not. You wouldn't know. You're a doctor. You're not a historian. Go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah,
How many? Literally lots.
they get up early in the morning because they have to be up early,
Yeah,
and it's dark outside, so they light the candle,
sure.
and they wear it out a bit, and then they'd be getting in late as well,
Yeah.
and like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again, and they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So,
Alright.
that's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have?
No, you can't have
You
another
can't
one
rush
yet.
into them, Rick. You've got to.
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Karl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were. I mean, basically, where this comes from is people were
They're literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got,
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment, and
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick, I
Eve for
should
me.
just say-
It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. Rick, listen, we often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because, I mean, you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff,
Sure,
you've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry
Yeah.
about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response, a lot of people that obviously, you know, want to give us feedback. Just a sample one, from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So
It's that good, is it?
So that's the kind of high positive praise that we're getting. So
I'm glad Anderson's listening because I wanted him
Yeah, no, I mean...
I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career, so I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
He's sitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come, of course, Rockbusters.
Still to come. What are we playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word, it's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
What is it?
Old dirty...
Old dirty big cock? What is it?
I can't tell you, it's offensive.
Breaks up.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Funny word, isn't it?
It's a funny word. What other funny words are there,
Although
Carl?
XFM's a funny word, I just say the letters out, because the word doesn't make sense.
Just, let me just check Richard Anderson's email again, just to remind myself of...
Go on.
Ricky, your show is appalling. Richard Anderson, thanks. What I like about, Dickie Anders is that he's obviously so angry, he's so annoyed by the show, that he's bothered to email just to get the venom out. Otherwise, you'd just think you'd switch over. Well, he's obviously so annoyed, he's had to switch on the computer.
He knows how to hurt someone as well.
Exactly. He's really taken the time out to show his disapproval.
Of giving up.
I'll tell you what, though, it is pretty hard to listen to.
What, this?
Yeah.
I've listened back to the tape, that when you're making that thing for the best of.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sounded like Albert's Taplock. I really sounded like some sort of punch-drunk stroke victim. And oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I don't remember myself like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's not a great planned show, slick word of articulate sentence, is it? But I mean, then who is?
But I think, I mean, there's so many shows that are, you know, nowadays on radio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's heavily formatted, you know, and there's with, you know, I don't know, presenters who are professional and have got some sort of degree of talent.
Yeah.
And ability to sort of string a sentence together. You know, I'm thinking Chris Moyles.
Yeah.
Predominantly.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm bored with those slick people, you know. I think we need a little bit of Karl in our life.
I'm just thinking, actually, I've just suddenly struck me, if you want to get rid of your furniture.
Got a buyer.
You've already got a buyer.
Got a buyer.
Because if there's any other stuff, we were clearing some stuff out of our place recently, and we just dumped some stuff outside on the street, because we were going to take it and take it to the tip later. Just dump some stuff outside. And I have never seen so many people come out of the woodwork scavenging through our garbage. It was incredible. They were like zombies.
Well, that's what I was saying.
They were like flies around shit.
But when I said to Karl,
that's what you should just do, just dump it outside, because it'll get taken.
When he went, he said, do you think I asked enough, 100? I went, yes, definitely. He went, oh, I could ask what? I said, no, don't do that. I said, because you'll end up having to pay the council to take it away. He said, I wouldn't. He said, I'd rather just dump it and let little homeless fella have it. And then he went, imagine the little homeless fella sitting at the desk.
Can you imagine, right, I walk past, he's sat outside Hearts, right, the little 24-hour shop, sat outside there, and he goes, have you got any change? And I go, I can do better than that.
Yeah, here's a chair and table.
Here's a futon. Yeah. A futon, no less. Not your boring bed, but a trendy... Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, amazing the number of people that would stop to look at our junk. There was a car driving by with a family and kids, perfectly respectable, just driving past, you know, on their way to somewhere, stopped, got out, got the kids out of the car, come on kids, let's just look through this junk. But I like the idea
You said we were going to Walton Towers, Dad.
No, sorry, no time. We're not going to the zoo, let's look through this rubbish.
We're not going looking through people's rubbish
Put these gloves on, look through this shit.
Ow! That's a needle!
That's a needle. It was, I mean, who does that? It was like a Saturday afternoon. Kids were just gonna go and look through some rubbish. And one guy, this is the most incredible one, one guy, I caught him going through the bins as I came in. I said, alright, what are you doing? He was one of those homeless guys who likes to remain dignified.
Why did you say, what are you doing?
Well, because it was my house, I had to go past, I had to squeeze past him.
He wasn't in your kitchen.
He was in our front garden.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, going through rubbish. He'd torn the bags open, he was going through it. I said to him, what are you up to? He went, oh yeah, just looking at stuff. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up afterwards, just looking for a few odds and ends, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh well, you can take what you want, you know, it's all going away. Yeah, thanks very much, thanks, yeah. So he went off, right, I didn't think anything of it. I was walking past the shops, the following day, there's a little sort of, kind of 7-Eleven, right, I was walking past, I thought, oh, that's interesting, a Gil Scott Heron album for sale. And I looked, I thought, wait a minute, this is all our rubbish. And the guy had set up, like a little car boot sale, outside the 7-Eleven, on the pavement. He'd taken our junk, he'd marked on prices. There's like an old RAC book from 1976 that had been lying in the house, a Yellow Pages, you know, and he'd marked up the prices.
How much was Yellow Pages?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
What year was that
50p, I snapped it up. I thought that's a bargain. And, it was incredible, the cheek of just selling our junk outside.
Enterprise, Karl. You did that. What did you used to do? You used to sell flowers.
I sold flowers. I sold fizzy drinks at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
What that you made?
It was Soda Stream, yeah. Made some,
Well, of course, when you were doing your Pilkies making music, your disco, you used to go into Mum's bedroom and find a pair of tights and a cigar.
Yeah, they'd be prizes. What else
Did
have
your
I done?
dad used to smoke cigars in tights, or your mum? No, which one of them? He's just... Go on.
Right, look, let's,
Yeah, we're educating Ricky.
No. We'll tease him that. Rockbusters.
Well, I think we should play a tune and come back with Rockbusters.
Oh, the show's fallen down. We were going so well. No, it's just the energy, isn't it? The first hour we got through.
I'm still in good spirits.
Is this still good, is it, this
I'm
show?
enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah?
I'm having a good
It's
time.
still good, is it?
Let me just check, just check what Richard Anderson thinks of it.
Good evening, man, again.
No, he thinks it's appalling. The Dixter thinks it's appalling, so, we should play a tune, because he prefers the music.
Bit of Aqualung.
Aqualung.
Rockbusters next.
I like that. That's great, isn't it?
Not bad.
Aqualung. Good time's gonna come. Well, Karl, we've got loads of ideas. We've got emails coming left, right and centre. I think you've caused quite a stir. I think you've turned this show around, to be honest. I'm being, honestly. Yeah, no, you've done really well. You're actually acting a bit like a producer, isn't he? And, you're coming through in your own right.
Yeah.
We've had a great suggestion.
We've had a great email here. Let me just check.
Listen to this, Karl.
Let me just check.
Listen to
This is from Jeff Dunn. He's a big fan of the show, and he's just had a genius idea. He's saying, "You're moving house, Karl. Why don't Ricky and I come round? We can do a live outside broadcast from your flat. We can observe from your kitchen those weirdos that live opposite.
Yeah.
We can maybe just wander around, just see the kind of place that you've got. You know, maybe check out your record collection, your clothes, what you got in the bathroom.
It'd be amazing.
Your futon.
It'd be like Louis Theroux, wouldn't it? We'd be Louis Theroux.
Come on, Karl. This is a dynamite idea.
Nah.
Why?
I don't want you coming around making a mess and that.
We won't
make a mess.
What
One
will we
person
make
will
a
take our
mess
shoes off.
with? When have I ever made a mess in the studio?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No, but do you know what I mean?
We're not going to make a mess. We're not going to have anything with us.
But what's in it for anyone?
Well, it's just a fascinating insight into you.
Yeah, but, right, when I see that little Chinese kid across the road who's dancing about in his underpants, that's in the evening, right? He's not gonna be doing that on a Saturday, so you'll be disappointed there.
Sure.
That old woman...
But you could at least show us the room in which he dances.
Yeah, when you say little Chinese kid, he's a 35-year-old man, isn't he?
Yeah, well...
yeah, you don't...
That's 28.
Yeah.
That's
But anyway, that's beside the point. You know, we'll find our own amusement.
No, I don't, and the woman downstairs has got a baby, and if we make loads of noise and that gets stressed out...
We're not gonna make noise, are we? Just gonna have a conversation in your flat. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, but if we're doing OB, we need to get, like, a car outside with a big aerial on it, and the parking's bad round our way.
What do you mean you have to do what do you mean?
To do an outside broadcast.
Can't they put in an ISDN line just for the dance?
No, because it'll make a mess of the wall, and I won't get my deposit back. So, we'll leave that. Thanks for the idea.
You know, he's going around painting all the little holes, to get his deposit back in the wall. He wants to get his deposit back. It's probably cost him about 400 quid redecorating.
Let's remind people, Karl, of the prizes for Rockbusters this week. It's dynamite stuff. We've got the David Attenborough DVD Nature Collection. We've got a number of CDs, the best of David Bowie. We've got a Madness CD, not quite sure whether that's songs from the musical or their original tunes. Country Legends, 2 CDs there of great country music.
Brilliant.
And the remix to XFM compilation. Plus, of course, the big movie prize this week. Hellraiser! If you haven't seen it already, then I assume you have never seen a film before. Because I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen Hellraiser. But obviously you have to be above 18 to join, to play the competition.
Come on in.
So,
How long would you want to be around for? Is this just for the...
Just for the show. Couple of hours.
2 hours. Did you get the desk in there? A live OB.
We could check out the Futon, we could sing its
check
praises.
the Fulton, right? Yeah. Oh, you might have sold that by
In fact,
now.
we could have someone come round and buy it live on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
It's great.
How did Graceland start? Because that was... that was his normal house, and then he took over. Right, anyway, Rockbusters.
Yeah, go on.
I give a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
And a letter, and it makes up a band, right?
He never said the word cryptic a few months ago. I love it. Do you know what I mean? I feel it's like our own little Eliza Doolittle.
Yes.
Right, even Richard will like this one. Here we go then. First one. There's 3 of them, and you email in.
If this doesn't turn Dickie round, nothing will.
This is an email-only competition.
Email only. Right, here's the first one. Initial is B, so it's a band starting with B.
Okay.
And the cryptic clue is, I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area.
I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area. Next one.
Right, the next one. He doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Is that a cryptic clue, or is that just...
Is that just a
general point?
Is that
That's the cryptic clue.
Okay.
And the initials there are PD.
Okay.
And, the last one, That
I've got that one. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, quickly.
Oh, God.
And the last one is, that bloke who does...
Come on!
It's making me laugh.
Come on, Karl, be professional.
Right, the last one. Right. I can't do it, it's making me laugh.
Oh, come on, I'll come and read them then.
No, hang on,
come on, Karl.
Right, here we go.
They don't do this on Blockbusters on TV, do they?
No, come on.
That bloke who does sport on telly. He's got a little kid, right? Initials DC.
What? Is that,
I'm
that
completely
the clue?
confused by that.
Was that the clue?
Yeah, that bloke who does sport on telly.
Yeah.
He's got a little kid. Initials DC.
Okay, is that a band? Or an artist?
It's, well, I'm not gonna tell you.
Cheese. This is a well-known sandwich. Is it, what is it? Is it a band or an
Right,
artist?
so just quickly recap. That's,
Okay.
It's a
Come on, Karl.
Right,
Come on.
quick recap. The first one is B. I don't think them birds should be around in this area. Right, that's B. Right? Second one, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a few kids. It's a bit weird. That's PD. And the final one, that bloke who does sport on the telly, he's got a little kid. Right? DC.
Alright, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you want to enter for Hellraiser.
Oh, I'll tell you what, continue to do that little theme of like some old stuff people haven't heard of. If you're under 30, you probably never heard of this band. It's also a new thing I'm going to introduce. It's Show Up Camfield. Camfield talks the talk, he doesn't walk the walk, he doesn't play some rock classics on his show, because he's scared. I'm going to play the tracks that Camfield's too scared to play. This is Kansas and Carry On Your Wayward Son, alright? Raw, Nirvana.
Amazing.
We were just talking, we were getting excited about that,
Yeah,
aren't
he's
we?
got an incredible voice he has.
And Grohl, drumming, it's brilliant. You Know You're Right, the new one from Nirvana. Well, it's time for Educating Ricky Part 2, isn't it? I'm excited, Karl. I'm going to learn so much from this. What's the choices again? What
Right, you've got left.
Still keep phoning your answers to, Email, sorry, yeah.
The answers to Rockbusters.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Educating Ricky, Part 2.
Right. I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Is one.
Oh, I've got to go for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or the other one is the police are causing a bit of a stir.
He still says it like it's the best thing he's ever come up with, which in a way it is.
It could be. Right, go on then. I'm committed to this treatment.
Right. Do you know the saying...
Is it just sayings now? Are they all sayings this week?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No, the other one isn't. Frog in your throat?
The saying, there's a frog in your throat?
Yeah.
I assume it's, when you, croak a little bit. You sound like a frog.
No. Right. Might seem a bit weird, this one, right? But years ago...
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, what is that clue? Committed to this treatment?
It's about frogs Kermitted.
It probably works better with a K and an ER written down.
Well, also, if you'd pronounced it Kermitted,
yeah.
but not committed.
Committed to this treatment! Right, go on then.
That's
Right,
genius.
So yeah.
Well, what?
You go to the doctors and you go with throat hurting a bit.
Right.
And what they did ages ago.
Ages ago? What year was this approximately?
We are going back quite a bit with this one.
Oh, okay, go on.
And the doctor would say...
He got did history. Imagine years ago. Go on.
And the doctor would say, right, keep your mouth open, I need to look at your tonsils. And the jaw would ache a bit, because they weren't as quick back then, because they didn't have the technology and stuff, and they'd have to, like, stare at it and study it and stuff. And, like, they get an achy jaw, right?
Keeping their mouth open.
Yeah, like, you get, you know,
Yeah.
when you eat a Mars bar or whatever, it's a bit, So, they'd sat there, and they used to always close their mouth, and it used to annoy the doctor, right?
Sure.
So what they did, they used to get a toad,
right,
and put it in the mouth.
Rubbish.
Okay, keep talking. Keep talking.
And, that way, they couldn't close the mouth, because either they'd squash it,
Right.
or, apparently, you're not allowed to, lick a toad's back.
So the doctor would have them for breaking the law?
No, but it's poisonous, right? A toad's back. You should never lick a toad's back.
Sorry.
Or put it in your mouth, really.
Oh, just stop for a second.
Wait. What?
Can I just ask one question?
Go on,
Can I
yeah,
just
go
ask
on.
one question?
I've got a few, but
no,
go on.
Sure. My initial thought is, it sounds like a brilliant bit of sort of medical, knowledge there. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
My only thought is, how does the doctor see past the toad? At your tonsils?
What's he actually looking at with the mouth open? Surely the toad is
Isn't
in
it
the
like
way.
hopping around in the way?
It didn't say.
Sorry, and my first question is, was this on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Karl, that is bollocks. That is... I mean...
Well, alright then. Let's turn this round. Where does the saying, you got a frog in your throat come from?
Probably because you sound a bit croaky. Probably that. Probably because you sound a little bit like a frog when you've got a sore throat.
Karl, did you not question it just for a moment when you read it? Just for a second, didn't you think, that seems an odd approach? Firstly, why a frog, of all the different species?
Because it's poisonous. A toad.
So it's a toad as well?
Yeah, well, it worked. I'm committed. Worked.
No, I
was gonna change it to, have you heard the news, Toad Day? But I went with the frog.
Oh God!
Right, so
that's rubbish. So that's rubbish. Next, can I have,
Let's play a tune, let's come up with the last one. Can I just say... No, just play it.
Yeah?
Yo, Karl.
I have to thank my mate Dave, who sent me an incredible 4-disc compilation. That was one of the tunes on there.
It looks professional, it's amazing.
It's incredible,
yeah.
Oh, he's gone to too much effort. Ben Queller, it's a track called In Other Words from his album Shah Shah.
Open wide. Oh dear, that's interesting. Oh, here, doctor. Look, you've actually got a frog in your throat. I didn't get there. I put it in there. That's the most ludicrous story I've ever heard, Karl. Why didn't you think when you read these things?
I think there's always going to be a bit of truth in all of these. I mean, that fella called up, didn't he, and said, I'm not sure about the, putting a frog in your throat if you've got, problems with your tonsils or whatever. But he said, years ago, if someone had toothache, they'd get hold of a frog and strap it to the face.
Yeah, sure.
So, maybe, down the line, maybe they did. Maybe they didn't do it
I think Caligula made his emperor, a horse and emperor as well, but I mean... it doesn't... Go on.
Dick Anderson's been back in touch.
Excellent.
I think, so he's obviously...
We've turned him round now, he loves it now,
he's been tuning in, he says...
He loves it now.
He says, Ricky, thanks for a really forgettable 2 hours of radio. I think I'll spend the time next week counting my feet. That's from Richard Anderson. So, we've turned him round.
Do you know where the phrase counting my feet comes from? Well, in the olden days, right, and I'm talking ages ago, when you really loved something, you used to, as a sign of respect, like, say, a radio show, you'd count your feet. And that's where that comes from, Karl.
Well, what about the frog thing with a poisonous back?
It's rubbish.
That's true. No, the toads have the secretions in the
Why?
But they didn't put it in people's mouths.
No, so well, I'll tell you why. When a badger or a heron tastes the toad, it's horrible. Ugh. The toad might die, but it's for the good of the species, because then think how many toads, looking like that, a heron could eat in its lifetime. So the fact that one toad is sacrificed, have all those other toads in that heron's manner will be safe.
Why? I mean, we've talked about animals a lot on the show, right? Yeah. And when God made a toad...
Sure. Right, okay, well, I'm gonna stop you there, straight away.
Don't. Just let him carry on.
Right.
Okay.
Like, there's annoying things out there, jellyfish is a big problem with me. I don't understand what they do in the sea and stuff.
Right.
Right, but we'll leave them.
God's a problem for me, but go on.
We won't talk about jellyfish. No. With the toad, right, if it's to protect itself...
Yeah.
Right, now
it's not to protect itself, it's to protect its species.
No, yeah, but that, surely, right, if the toad had a choice, if God said, right, what I'm gonna do for you here, you can have something like a lobster's got claws, big claws to have a fight. Or, I can give you something that if someone's having a go at you, you've got to try and persuade them to lick your back. As a defence.
Yeah.
What use is, right...
Oh, God's...
Well, I'll tell you why.
What is God up to?
The fact that there are still toads around is a testament to that defence working. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? If the toad had died out, you'd have a point. But they're still around. It works. Alright?
And don't start slagging God off. He's got a lot on his plate. Basically, I think he took on too much.
Particularly in 1 week.
Exactly, it was crazy.
Danger High Voltage, Electric 6, XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant. Karl's getting all flustered because I put an elastic band around his head. And we've had a definition of,
well, hang on a sec, because there's an update to that, Rick.
Go on.
We did just have, one definition here of a frog in the throat. Apparently this has come from some internet site, so who knows how convincing it is, but it says frog in the throat, meaning suffering from temporary hoarseness, needing to clear the throat. Origin from the Old English frogger, meaning hoarseness. That's from Chris. Now that sounds slightly suspect to me.
Why?
But frogger? I mean, it seems odd that it would derive from that when it so clearly appears to be You sound like a frog when you have a sore throat.
Yeah, but the word frog could come from Frogger, because it sounds like it's croaking.
Wasn't Frogger a game you could play on the, on the Spectrum? That's a great game. But listen, hang on, there's an update to that, because, just to
common frog, of course, Rana temporara, that's the Latin name. Well, your toad is Buffo Buffo.
You may be trying to show off, but I think you're about to embarrass yourself as well, because you've been slagging off young Karl. Yeah. It says here, another email, it doesn't tell us who it's from. Although it's hard to believe now, at one time, medieval physicians believed that the secretions of a frog could cure a cough if they were coated on the throat of the patient. Yeah. That in itself sounds repulsive, but what makes the idea even worse is the application of the secretions. Instead of painting the treatment on, something which may also have seemed rational, a live frog was placed into the mouth of the sufferer, where it remained until the physician decided that the treatment was complete.
Right.
Apparently Shakespeare's son-in-law, that's a question mark, I don't know what that means. Anyway, it's no wonder that today a froggy or croaky attempt at speech is said to be a frog in your throat. So, you can see that what's happened there is Karl's misread, or been slightly misinformed about, a medieval practice. In a sense, you're both winners, just for taking part. What's your final one, Karl?
Right, the final story is, the police are causing a bit of a stir.
I can't wait.
It's about this fella, I think it's in England somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't know when it happened, but,
literally ages ago, or?
well, I think it's when they were trying to crack down on, like, drunken people walking about in the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they found this
Saturday, that way.
And, found this fella, and, all the local people were saying, oh, look at him wandering around, he's drunk and what have you. That's not right, get the police in. He got arrested and that, and they got him in the court, and, the judge was there, and he says, so, you know, what's all this? What's going on? What are you doing wandering about when you've had a drink? You know the rules. You shouldn't be doing that. You had a glazed expression on your face. Blah, blah, blah. What do you have to say for yourself? He only had a glass eye.
So did he have 2 glass eyes?
No, he had 1. But that was, they were about to sort of lock him up.
Was he a bit pissed up as well?
Well, he was pretty livid.
But was he also drunk with a glass eye?
No, that's the weird thing. He wasn't even, he hadn't even had a drink.
So they just thought, because he had a weird stare.
Because his eyes were all glazed.
Yeah. Where'd you get this from? Why are you telling me this? No, but why are you telling me this? I mean, thank you, because it's, you know, killed a couple of minutes, but why is this educating me? What are you telling me here?
Because there's a bit of a thing there, a bit of a fable, that don't always judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So, the guy, he hadn't even had a drink. He'd probably just been shopping.
Yeah.
Walking down the street, and everyone's, like, getting involved. Like, what's he doing?
Hang on, I don't understand. He's walking down the street, happens to have a glass eye. He was doing nothing else to suggest he was drunk. You don't pick people up just because their eye looks slightly off.
But even if it happened, why are you telling me? With no particular detail. I know this, that we're gonna get
It's not enough information.
I know, yeah.
No, there's a bit of a lesson there, educating Ricky. Just, you know, just watch what you say. Don't always jump to conclusions.
The only education I can take from that is that, if I ever do become a policeman, I shouldn't just arrest people because they look a bit drunk. I should just tap their eye with a pen and goes, oh, okay, on you go.
Well,
on you go, yeah.
Guys, can I just stop you there? I'm just gonna email Richard Anderson and tell him I agree.
Right, listen, we're running out of time and that.
We've got where did the phrase frog in the throat come from?
We've got it here, it's been told.
Well, there's 3.
Can we play a tune and come back with that? Have we got anything lined up?
Yeah, we've got the song with a story in it.
Come on, Karl, let's do something. Quick, play a record.
Song with a story in it.
But never mind that, just, they're listening. We discussed this off air, come on. Play a record.
Right, it's Kinks. It's a song with a good story in it. You gotta listen to the words.
Karl, what was that? That was your little song with a story,
that's another little feature that we do every Saturday.
So make sure you tune in.
It's a song that's got a good story in it. There's a lot of music about these days.
What's that story about then? What's that story about?
You don't know what they're going on about. Whereas that, classic from the Kinks, called Lola.
Yeah, what's it about?
I'd listened to it for the first time properly this morning.
Yeah.
And what I've worked out from it is, there's a fella who goes out for a normal Saturday night out. He's in Soho.
Yeah.
He's having a Coca-Cola or whatever. And he sees this woman, and he thinks, yeah, she's alright.
Yeah.
Won't mind a bit of that. So he wanders over, and he sort of gets talking to her. He looks at her, and she's got a great figure, nice face and all that.
Lovely knob.
And she speaks, and he goes, oh God, got a bit of a bloke's voice.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a voice like a bloke. But he thought, but, you know, that's her only down point.
Sure.
So he dances around with her, and I think he sits on his knee, I think he said.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out it's a fella.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
a sobering lesson.
Yeah.
What do you take from that?
look always sort of, if you think you might be talking to, a bloke in drag, just look at his sort of Adam's apple. And he'll probably have a hairier arse than a woman.
Yeah, I think you've gone too far then, though. I think you're already getting too close.
It's a bit late to pull out.
No pun intended, definitely.
There was a pun intended.
Oh, was it? Alright, was it?
Yes.
Alright, okay, we don't be disgusting then. Right, okay, right, the results of, Rockbusters.
We ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have,
We've
we've
done
got
this
loads.
feature for...
We've got loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of...
What?
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one?
What was the clue? Well, hang on, let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one, the clue was, that bloke does sport on the telly and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport, has got a tiny child, right? No, that's fine,
Yeah,
they got that.
Okay, Destiny's Child. What's the middle one?
Right, the middle one. Right.
Child.
The second one was, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right? That was PD, that was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy, it's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore, he's called P. Diddy.
Well...
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right, and the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
They've got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A boyzone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A boyzone. Sorry, Karl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boyzone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. Don't use birds to be allowed in this area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Karl beat them. Karl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head and my way of thinking,
heaven
right?
forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
And Blondie album and the Madness one.
Yeah, okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm gonna give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Karl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well.
He's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
Well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Oh!
Coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right. John, play your song.
Is this
Carl's annoyed because they didn't get banned goals.
A song from song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is I've been wanting to play this.
It's not
for
like
ages.
us to forget things like that.
This is a band Frente who kind of came and went, and no one was particularly interested. But they did this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune, "Bizarre Love Triangle," and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant.
New Order. Just play this.
Good night.
Song for the ladies. Is this in the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
Every time I think of you, I get a shot right.
Placebo, The Bitter End on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is both Stephen Merchant and Karl, the K-Man, Pilkington.
Oh.
So, you've already got that. That's safe. It's only 4 minutes past. You've had Placebo and you've got us three. So
you're definitely going home with that.
Yeah,
whatever
that's
happens.
safe. That's on its way to the hospice.
Exactly. You've banked that.
Yeah. Now, do you want to gamble all that to go on and listen for another 2 hours? Well, you could walk away now and you're up.
Yeah, you're up. You're already up.
Right, that's brilliant.
You have not wasted any time.
Do you want to gamble that against another 2 hours? It might be shoddy, it might go downhill, but it might get even better, Karl. What do you say they do? Listen for another 2 hours?
Yeah.
See, we shouldn't have done that.
We shouldn't have asked Karl, because a lot of them now are already taking what they've got. And what they've got is great, Rick. What they've got is lovely.
Yeah.
They're loving that. They're going to enjoy that.
We have got monkey news. We've got cheap as chimps. That's not the same thing. How many radio stations have got 2 ape-related simian features?
Rick, can I point out now, a lot of people are making that mistake. A lot of people are thinking that monkey news is exactly the same as cheap as chimps.
It's not.
Let's keep that clear.
It's not. It's in the same ballpark, but it's not the same.
There are apes, they're involved.
They're involved, yeah. We've also got some great music, yeah. We've got an amusing sketch about a fly. And Mystique is dropping in.
Let's hope the Mystique ladies are coming in. Singing
I want to kick off with a song that is, you know, you've got like half a dozen posing songs that when you're sort of like between 14 and 18, they were the ones you'd put on to get ready to go out, or just pose around, or be that pop star, or think you're on stage, or whatever, or in the video. Yeah. And embarrassingly, I dug this out, and I remembered I used to post this like a mother when I was about 14, right? This is Street Life by Roxy Music. You used to do...
Mine was Oops Upside Your Head.
Yeah.
It was just me on the floor in my bedroom. One day I thought there'll be other people in this imaginary pose.
yeah. Elbows going everywhere, knocking over vases.
Yeah. But then I remember later, it was Black Lace's Superman, which is something similar. Do you remember that? That was brilliant.
Wow.
Spray, ski, da-ding, da-ding.
If you've, out there in Radioland got any funny jokes, then call in.
Email them in, because we need some.
Oh. Street Life, Roxy Music off the Stranded album. That's what I used to jump around to.
What would you have been wearing while you were listening to that?
Well, probably Brutus Gold jeans.
Classy.
Or green flash pumps.
Sure. Any socks?
I would have had socks, yeah. I'd have probably been wearing the shirt my mum got me from Tesco's, which was again a Brutus shirt, and it had women in bikinis eating bananas on a chaise longue.
Of course it did. What, lots of small ones, or just one big one?
Lots of little small ones. Yeah, so you know, so that was that.
A trilby?
I didn't wear a trilby.
Did you have a toy with a trilby?
I remember when I went on holiday about that time, and I was about 14. My older brother had this leather jacket, and I was on the beach, just, you know, in my shorts and that, and I went to get an ice cream or something. I said, "Can I borrow a jacket?" And I put his jacket on, and I was frozen on the beach thinking, they are all looking at me, because I look so good. And I also had a straw Stetson. And I really thought, yeah, I'm turning into quite a man.
Yes, I'm quite a catch.
Yeah. Just thinking, they're looking, going, who's that dude? Is he American? Hold on, has he just come from some sort of rodeo?
Wait a minute, I'm in a bikini, and I like bananas. I could be the woman for him.
Oh dear.
What was that? Didn't you have a t-shirt or a jacket or something you wore to university that was pretty classy? Didn't it have like some foul language on it or something? What was that?
Yeah, I had, when I was 18, right, the Christmas, or the birthday before I went to, university, got 2 sweatshirts, one black, one red, had bullshit on them. Just on the lapel. Right, and the red one, all my clothes, the first wash, everything was pink. All my white shirts, all my white socks, of course, because I just put it in, I didn't know. Yeah. So that I was a man at university with all pink clothes except for a rather nice red sweatshirt with bullshit on it. Again, turning into quite a man.
Quite the man. Was that pre or post the time you washed your clothes by getting in the bath? And
that was that was the second year when I was had to go and dig at our Halls residence. So I had a bath, and you had to sort of like pay for a bath, you know. So I thought 2 birds with 1 stone. I got in the bath with all my white shirts, because I was going through sort of, you know, wearing a white shirt and tie, that sort of, you know, David Sylvian sort of fine everything, and Daz. And I just wriggled around in it, washed myself. It's quite a good exfoliant. I didn't do it again, because it was sort of not good for the skin, Daz.
Quite sore, is it, around the sort of the more intimate regions?
Yeah. So there you go. Roxy Music and Street Life. Karl,
thoughts?
I just was working out time, really. We've got last week we had a lot of stuff that we didn't manage to cram in,
which was good. So
I'm just looking at we have got Cheap as Chimps coming. Songs of Phrase.
Oh, we've forgotten about some stuff.
Why don't we kick off with that so we don't forget it? Cheap as Chimps or Songs of Phrase, or the film thing. We didn't get the film done yesterday.
We've also got a new feature, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Yeah.
Incidentally, I should just point out now that someone has, Ashley Phillips has emailed in, because obviously with Songs of Phrase, what Karl does, for those that have not heard it, he takes a phrase that you might hear commonly on the show, and then he uses various
There's
songs.
this hairy Chinese kid.
Was the one
you
we
never
kicked off
seen
with.
an old bloke eating a Mars bar.
And, yeah, as I say, he uses different chunks of songs, and he makes up that phrase. And, so he has made some suggestions here, Karl, because he thinks that the more common Karl, you're an idiot, fool, etc., perhaps a little overheard, he'd like to, maybe hear Karl, pause, I don't know where to start, which is a common one from Ricky. Karl, which bit of that do you actually think is true? And then there's the regular dialogue between the three of us. Karl, well, you know, it could happen. Me, sure. Ricky, no, Karl, it could never happen. Not now, not ever. You're an idiot, play a record. So maybe some of those you could use next time.
Well, will we get it going then for today?
Yeah.
This week we're. Do you remember the story about my auntie having wind for 5 minutes? Yeah.
Your auntie, was it your auntie Nora?
Auntie Nora. She was on a lot of medication and stuff.
Sure.
And I think that's a side effect that comes with it. So yeah, she had wind for 5 minutes. So I thought we'd dig that one out. A classic line. Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I've got loads of songs here.
How many is that?
Me auntie had wind for 5 minutes. 7 tracks.
Oh, that's tricky.
Oh, why do you learn?
Okay, so you need to identify, if you can be bothered, the artists.
Yeah,
that's
we'll
what
do
we're
artists.
after, isn't it?
All right.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, we'll play it a few times.
Just remember, as many as you can get, because the
Yeah.
winner would probably be, you know, who gets 5 or something. So don't worry if there's a couple you can't get, because you could still probably win.
Here we go
on.
again.
It is good. Can I just, what's the email address?
It's, well, if they go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, they can just send them through there and
I can
that.
send them through that way.
Right.
Which of these is the prize bag?
Yeah, don't be getting them mixed up.
That's the one, is it, Karl? Yeah. Alright, so let's see what hot treats you could win. As I get them out, Karl, do you want to play it once more?
Yep.
I recognise all of them except one.
Yeah.
Right, let me see
Or
what we've got
maybe 2.
here. Once again, Karl, you excelled yourself with an arbitrary collection of DVDs.
Just hanging around, were they?
Just hanging around. Again, I'm always interested to know which of our XFM listeners has tastes as broad as this.
Go on.
We've got the recent BBC adaptation of The Hound of the Baskervilles.
Brilliant.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
We've
all
got, what's this? Is this this is something involving Air, the band Air. I think it's a single at best.
Yeah.
This is probably worth having. This is the current Flaming Lips album. So you excelled yourself there, actually, Karl. That's not bad. An XFM mouse mat.
Oh,
They're as common as muck.
hold on. You can't give away that mouse mat. It's a piece of foam.
Now, I was going to dismiss the oddball sci-fi movie K-Pax featuring Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges, but Karl, is it
It's
signed by Kevin Spacey?
It's signed, yeah. It's an actual. So win that and put it on eBay for £4.50.
And man alive.
What is that?
Just look at their faces.
No, Karl, don't give that. No one wants that unless it's ironic.
Series 1 and 2 on DVD of popular northern-based sitcom Bread.
Buy it, sell it. The game's getting hard because someone's dealing you a losing card.
Right.
They all had a go. All the actors had a line on that song. Oh,
Play the clips again.
play the clips again. They really want to win it now.
Here we go.
I can't believe this hasn't been done before.
It's extraordinary.
All right.
Because most of our ideas have. Verve, Lucky Man on XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
The emails, I should point out, aren't flooding in on the
No, but it
competition.
always takes time when they go through the website.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll be arriving in a bit.
Do you want to play it once more for those that have just joined us?
All right then. There you go.
Brilliant.
My auntie had wind for 5 minutes.
Brilliant. Genius.
Name the artists. Rick, I sometimes get off at the Tube at Tottenham Court Road if I want to look at the record shops before I come into XFM. And I always cut through Chinatown.
Oh, yeah.
And every time I come through Chinatown, the same thought always strikes me. I always feel like I want to just gather all the little locals, all the little Chinese fellas, just gather them round and just go, guys, in what way is this a town?
It's not, is
This is not, at best, what you've got here is a novelty street.
Yeah, Gerrard Street is not a town,
No,
mate.
it's not a town. You've had this
Just
for like
because you put a
100
little
years. It's not
pagoda.
expanding.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't just call it Chinatown and claim it's a town.
If I was them though and you do that, I go, what are you talking about? It is a town, it is a town, it's
What, in
our
what
town.
way?
It is a town, it's our town, we got all lots of stuff.
Where's your church? Where's your mayor?
We got a betting shop.
Not enough?
It is.
See, all you've got here is restaurants.
No.
That does not a town make.
No, got a little supermarket with snacks.
What does it sell?
Snacks.
Specifically, I would imagine crackers.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to buy a dragon? Do you want to buy an ornamental dragon?
If I wanted to buy one, this is where I would
Do you want to buy a gold dragon?
Is it made of gold?
No, it's made of plastic, but it's sprayed gold. Do you want to buy that?
It's not a town.
It is a
It's
town.
not a town.
Yeah.
And it annoys me, because when I first came to London, I genuinely thought Chinatown was going to be this amazing, what they've got there is...
You'd hear a gong and...
Yeah,
every time you went in there,
And there'd be rickshaws and people walking on those little sort of wooden shoes. You know those ones? They're brilliant, they are. Just comping around in them. But nothing, it's nothing,
Hats.
it's just... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just reminds me of, have you ever been to any of those sort of museums? You tend to have them up north, where they've got like, you sort of sit in a little cart and it sort of rides you through kind of, I don't know, it might be,
Newcastle,
the Victorian era.
Yeah. Can I have half a pound of those sweets, please?
Exactly.
Of course you can.
If there was some animatronic then, it would just be an exhibit.
Yeah. Their concession of being 100 years ago is that there's some scales in the shop and there's a horse outside.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
The traditional sounds and smells of old England.
And the voice of going, of course, there was no television.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Brilliant, yeah.
Haven't they got
Welcome to... Chinatown.
Ding, 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 ding.
So it's not, it's a good point.
Is that a piece of traditional music? Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Is that some traditional Chinese music, or is that music that someone in this country wrote, thinking it sounded like Chinese music?
I think it was the, was it the Vapors, wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it is? That? Because it sounds different. That's the music, isn't it? But are you sure they didn't take that from some other source?
it's that pentatonic scale, isn't it? What is it called? It's the black notes on the piano.
Right, that's the one I can play along with EastEnders.
Yeah.
Do you know what I don't get with it?
Go on.
Chinatown.
Yeah, Chinatown, because I always walk through it on the way to work. A couple of things annoy me. First of all, I think it's bad business, just because if you've got a Chinese restaurant, put it somewhere where there isn't any others.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, but it's also a community. They're not just a theme park for other people.
I remember going out one night with Suzanne and some friends, and you got there and there's so much choice. It's that dilemma of, oh, forget it.
Well,
And
not
we went
really.
somewhere
Specifically,
else.
do you fancy Chinese?
Well, no, but
No,
why don't you go to the one with the dead ducks hanging in the window? That's my
That's the
favourite.
other thing as well. It's like, normally you put your good stuff in the window. If that's what's in the window. Right?
Yeah.
And the other thing that annoys me, walking through it today, there's always lard on the floor.
What, in the street?
In the streets.
It is, honestly. I'm scared I'm going to slip over. It's because all the restaurants and that. But why is it? Oh, that's another point.
Well, it's not oozing out of the restaurants.
No, but why is it? Why is
I
it?
don't know what they do.
Careful. Listen, no, but why is
That's why they used to wear those little wooden shoes.
it? No, okay, we've
No, but
got...
the thing is as well, they try and wash it with water, which doesn't work with lard, and it's like oil.
Famously, yeah.
You know what I mean? Even I know that.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
scrub it.
So,
You think so?
sorted that out.
Yeah.
You think they'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for your thoughts on Chinatown, Carl.
Right, I'm going to play this thing again, because it is a bit slow today, the email.
Oh, because it's too hard.
It's not too hard, there's just clips of songs. What are the artists? Email in. XFM.co.uk.
He's getting annoyed because he put the work in and no
Well.
one's... He's getting annoyed! Oh...
Remember, I think Kevin Spacey and the signed K-Pax DVD is probably the only incentive to try and have a go at that one.
To just think you could win by getting one of them.
Exactly. They're coming in now, okay. This is electronic. Electronic, getting away with it.
Definitely. Do you reckon we'll get away with it? You see, you've worried me now.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's worried me.
My
Karl.
apologies if you're offended at all by my reference to those little wooden shoes. That's not going to help, Rick.
Dear.
That Chinese women used to wear. I don't know if they still wear them.
We've only had one complaint, haven't we? We got from the Sonys, that one about talking about the swan's penis. But you know, things about complaints is that people complain all the time. It's whether it's upheld because it goes from authority, and then they have to go, oh yeah, look, that was in poor taste or pre-watershed or
some of the things you said on TV though, you must have been stung.
Well, see, I've only had one upheld, one serious slap on the wrist for something I said. But
what was he saying? Can you repeat it?
Well, I can. Yeah, I was talking about, and it was a true story. I was talking about this little old man who his daughter was taken to home because he used to fry up bacon and rub it round his to get the dog to lick them.
Right. And you got a complaint.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's why you got a complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Well, he said it on Songs of Praise.
They said it was in poor taste, I suppose.
What other complaints?
You know the biggest complaint ever on TV, the most complaints ever for anything on TV, was the showing of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know the second? Yeah, the second was I think Anne Robinson put in the Welsh into room 101.
What? Because she didn't like him and that.
Yeah, she just said, well, they're going in the, you know.
She said it slightly more eloquently than that.
Yeah.
I can the people or the place.
I don't know.
I think it was the place and therefore the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
No, well, you know, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They reside now in Wales.
Oh yeah.
And it is.
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just, it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots of
everywhere.
vicars walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it is the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true, because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it, it's alright, it's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But, this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Karl is.
No, but...
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes again.
The thing is, it's good that, in a way, that they do that, and they don't want to be, like, you know, rushing about everywhere, because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me, right? But, like, one of the shops that my mum and dad use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop, they can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people who use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is, they get used to what you buy, and
They leave it out.
They put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he
yeah.
found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not for other people, it is for my dad, because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh
Chickens.
no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who
hangs around a lot,
keeps making phone calls. And is getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
You stitched him
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Karl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
I can't believe that he's moved there. He's retired to this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers, there's no bread again.
There's old women
Was
going
empty.
hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed, and your father is just... I can't... That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief. That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen. They won't know what's...
I think you stitched him right up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the
Set
mansion.
fire to his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Yeah.
The streets?
Yeah. Forget about tomorrow. Feeder. Right. Listener, I'm talking to you now. Have you seen these posters around with me and Steve on it, right? It's embarrassing, right? We were mucking around at a photo session, and XFM wanted to do some posters. We couldn't be bothered to do them again, so we let him have this one. Irony comes back to haunt you, and it looks like I think I'm Simon Templar or something, and Steve's alright. But we think that Karl should be in it.
Definitely.
Karl doesn't want to be in it, but it looks like everyone listens to this show for Karl's, basically, you know, innocent stupidity and some great tracks.
Exactly.
They don't listen for us anymore,
No.
Steve. So I think it should be a campaign to get Karl on the poster.
Yeah. Well, I should point out that I think XFM are more than happy to have him on the poster.
So it's just him.
You don't want to be on there, do you?
There's no need for me to be on it.
Of course there is.
Why not?
I get so many emails here as I'm sat during the show reading them. So many emails saying, what does Karl look like? I
Well,
want pictures of
if
Karl.
you go to xfm.co.uk/Ricky, we've got those film bits on there. Those video mock-ups where I'm part of it. You can sort of...
That's not
see it
enough,
online.
Karl. People want to see your face. You're part of the show.
Not
You're an
bothered.
intrinsic part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you on the poster. Why?
Just, it'll be too much on a poster. They can only take in so much.
What
Just
do you
leave it.
mean?
They can only
Leave it,
take
it's
in
good.
so much.
Yeah, it's good with two people.
No.
It's enough.
So what do groups do then?
Well, they haven't...
It's like Ringo Starr is being left off the cover of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah. Or Rutherford doesn't get in a look in with Genesis.
Exactly.
Well,
You know.
Which would be outrageous.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony Banks, you can't be in this one.
Yeah.
It's just me and you will be very. You see, you look like the Collins,
yeah,
so
but
you've got to be
I
in there.
don't photograph that well either.
You're joking. Is it
Not-
because you look like a little cue ball because it just shines off the
But
top?
a lot of people as well, you should dispel the myth. A lot of people think, for some reason, that you're fat. A lot of people say to me, is he fat?
No, but that's because I haven't got much hair, so it looks like my head's big.
No, they haven't even seen you. They just think, from listening to the show, that you're fat.
That's because you're northern. They think you just eat chips
Yeah.
and complain about the weather,
Well,
complain about the south.
I just think you could answer a lot of your critics.
Yeah.
but then you see what I don't like about this world. A lot of people judge people on the way they look.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like you
hey. If only more people thought like that, Steve.
But Karl, you judge people on the way they look.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. But I couldn't with me, could I? Because I don't know what I look like.
What?
If I was listening to me on the radio, I wouldn't be able to say, "Oh, he's a," and slag me off and that, because I don't know what I look like, and I quite like that. Do you know what I mean?
I've lost.
I don't know what
Absolutely
you're talking
lost.
about.
Just believe me, right? I'm right on this one. It's best if you leave it.
Well, we're not going to leave it. We're going to get you on the poster.
Yeah.
I mainly have to see myself on videotape this morning. That's
Oh,
put me
I
even more
showed
off.
him. The animal show I did, the show.
Yes.
I'm doing a video, and I did behind-the-scenes footage, and I've got you've seen it, haven't you?
I feel a bit of Karl on there, isn't there? Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
It's lovely. He can't believe it. He said, "Is it playing slow?" Because he's so slow. When I come into the office, he's going, "All right." That's how you
And
talk.
my head as well. I look like I'm looking into a spoon. I'm not happy with it.
I just think that if we're willing if Ricky's willing to use his celebrity profile for the sake of the show,
Yeah.
I'm willing to look like let's say a fairly handsome, kind of cool customer. I think the very least, Karl, is that you appear on there as well. You could dress
Are
up
you
smart.
are you worried that you'll look the worst out of all three of us?
Who am I standing next to? I'm next to Steve. I'm fairly confident.
Yeah.
I like the way it's so predictable. You pull the string because you know what it is. It's not.
You pull the string.
What were we talking about before? I was to tell you, yeah. You know the most complaints ever, the Last Temptation of Christ.
I haven't seen it.
Was it? It's Scorsese, isn't it?
It's Martin Scorsese, and I've bought the film actually recently because I was intrigued to see it, but I've not actually watched it. But from what I understand, the reason that it was so outrageous is because it has a whole sequence which shows what it would be like if Jesus had lived his life and not martyred himself on the cross, but lived his life as a human being. Part of which is him having sex. And so I think that was chiefly what the outrage was, that it was showing this godly man to be, as human as he was supposedly. Because he's supposed to be human as well. So that's the reason. That was the reason that there was complaints there. I don't know. I haven't seen the film.
Well,
I can't
you
say.
see him, do you?
You see him having sex, I think, yes.
Although it is an actor, Carl.
Yeah,
I
it's
must
not
point
actually
out.
Jesus Christ.
It's not the real Robert Powell. No. It's an actor playing Robert Powell.
It's that, you see, sex on films and all that, right? When I was growing up, and I'd be watching... No, I'm just saying an example of this, really, right? When I was growing up as a kid and I'd be, you know, watching films with my dad, right? He'd really be enjoying a film, right? And then... a sex scene would happen.
Right.
And he'd go...
On film? Or just behind you?
In the film, a sex scene would happen.
Your brother up to his old tricks again.
And he'd get up and go make a cup of tea. Right?
Right.
Typhoon? That he'd stolen from some sort of telephone box?
And, like, even recently, he thinks it ruins a film. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no need for it to happen, is there? Really?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes it's warranted. If the film itself is
there's some films it isn't though. Some films it isn't.
Some films it's arbitrary.
I think the films that him and his dad watched together on Channel 5. Probably not. Is it only on Channel 5 in your house?
But let's put it, if you're watching, you know, I don't know, a late night Friday night, you know,
from 1983.
Yeah, Illegal Briefs. A beautiful lawyer has to defend a man who may be a killer. She falls in love with him, but does she know the real man?
Oh dear.
You know what I mean, though.
Lest you forget, of course, that I...
Love Heat. With the bloke that is now in... Go on.
You know, of course, that according to the Internet Movie Database, I once appeared in one of those films, in the film Killer Image, a Canadian film, I believe, from 1989. According to that computer...
it's all wrong, isn't it?
It's all wrong.
It's all wrong.
Of course it is, yeah. Apparently I was in that, and I played the role of Kirk.
Was it a porn thing?
No, I think it's just an erotic thriller.
Oh, right.
I suppose
you only had a very small part, though, didn't you?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, do you know what I mean? Sometimes you don't need to go that far. Say, like in this Jesus programme, right?
Film.
What's it called?
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Just like talking... You know what? What's his name? Is it Ralph in The Simpsons?
Yes.
I drive a kitty cat. It's like talking to that.
Yeah.
No, but right, this temptation thing, right?
Do you know, often we don't get that many complaints on this show. We don't get very many complaints. And I think that's either because there's no listeners, or B, it's because most people agree with Karl, and that terrifies me.
Or they let him off, because it's like, you know, you can plead insanity, you can go mental and kill a few people, but they go, oh, he's a bit backward.
No, but was it because, like, they're saying that he was having it away, or is it because you saw it? What got the complaints?
The complaint was the very suggestion that Christ
it was a blasphemous thing, not the fact that you saw an actor's knob.
So what about if they just cut it down a bit and you like saw the little stable door closing?
It wasn't the baby Jesus having sex. It was the grown man.
The stable door shutting.
No, but do you know what
the
they do?
nativity scene.
That is brilliant.
Then
the wise men saying, "I can't believe we brought myrrh. We should have brought condoms."
No, yeah. There's 2 for 1 offering, Boots.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking. With frankincense.
It's just that it's always awkward.
Should we apologise now to the Christian church as well?
So
Sorry, the little Chinese fellas, little Welsh fellas, and the little Christian fellas.
We haven't said anything wrong.
No.
It's like, you see, when I was growing up...
Stable door. I love the idea that in Karl's world, he was born in a stable, just thought, well, I love this place. Yeah. I'm just going to stay here the rest of my days.
This is good here. Oh, brilliant.
But when I was watching telly with my mum and dad, I mean, it still happens now, right? My dad will sort of go, oh, ruined. Good film ruined. Right, if some sex scene happens.
But why doesn't he
But what are we talking about sex scene? Are we talking about kissing or are we talking about penetration and looking at the camera? Going, you're enjoying this, Pilkingtons? What are we talking about? What is sort of extreme levels are we talking about?
Right, last time I was down there, right?
Yeah.
What was it? Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black.
Meet Joe Black is a terrible film. Yeah.
Right. There was a good film, and then you know it's going to happen because like the music comes in. Brad Pitt's keeping quiet. A woman's eyeing him up.
Sure.
So my mum, I love that. My mum's worked it out already, and she's going. Anything on the other side, love?
She knows. She knows.
It's something's.
So you can be enjoying a film and you can be an hour and 10 in, and then some spidey senses of one of them can go. Should we turn it over? And the other one goes, yeah, all right.
Are you sure it's not them protecting you from scenes of sex? So that what they're thinking is, what if Karl gets the idea to have sex?
Yeah.
That could lead to procreation. We don't want any more like him. We've got to end the line here.
You sure it's not the doctor? Keep calling out, going. You are keeping away from women, aren't you?
He must never find out.
Are you sure they're not embarrassed because they're watching a sex scene with their son?
It happens every time, right? There's 2 things that my mum does, right? It's that if there's sex scene on the telly, she'll go, anything on the other side, love? And And the other thing she always says, if ever there's anything on the telly with Elvis in it,
Yeah.
she goes, oh, I like him, right? And we all know, we sat there, we know what she's going to say next.
Yeah.
So you don't even bother saying why, right? And she goes, he liked fat, ugly people.
He what?
He liked fat, ugly people. He didn't always go for, like, the good-looking fans in the crowd.
What Elvis did?
Yeah.
Right.
That was always the thing, and
I'm
like,
sorry, no, hold on. I don't know what we're doing now with our lives, Steve. Right, wait a minute, right. So, your mum says two things, right? She either says...
Is there anything else on the
is there
other
anything-
side?
Or, I like Elvis. There's a pause, because you know what she's going to say next. She says, he liked fat, ugly people. How often does this occur?
well, because they've got, like, you know, Sky, there's a lot of those channels on. They like the music channels. So Elvis always comes on. There's either an Elvis film, there's, like, you know, a classic hit by him on...
And she'll go, I like Elvis, he likes fat, ugly people. And what do you mean he liked fat, ugly people?
Is she a fat, ugly person?
Because there's that special Vegas show, isn't he, where he's dancing about, right? And he's got loads of scarves around his neck.
Towels.
Yeah. And, like, he always hands them down to the fat, ugly ones. Right. And I always say it's because they're the fat, you know, they've got a sweaty face because they can't, you know what I mean?
I don't know what world they
I
live
don't
in.
know how we've got onto this
What
subject.
what sort of world are you got when you're watching his face? And what do you mean fat, ugly ones? You mean they're in the front, they're sweating a lot because they're a bit
Yeah,
chubby?
so she thinks, you know, is giving them a towel because
But
it's like...
he's really going, wipe your face, you're putting me off, you
Yeah.
fat cow. Stop sweating near me.
There's another one.
What?
So, hairy Chinese kids.
Yeah.
Jesus.
We haven't slagged off hairy Chinese kids. We slagged off Chinese... We didn't slag anyone off. We just said they really haven't got a town as such, and they wear shoes. What did we say?
Yeah, little wooden shoes.
And what did the...
I just don't know how we got onto Elvis and big fat ugly women. I don't know where we. I don't know how we
Did you
sidestepped from the Last Temptation of Christ.
Did you see that fat Girls and Feeders
Go on
programme?
a minute.
Eh?
What's
Tom
that?
Petty first.
Oh, brilliant! It's a great song. Breakdown.
How many
Tom
other
Petty.
radio shows have talked about Last Temptation of Christ, Chinatown,
Yeah.
fat ugly women?
More
Yeah.
than 60 minutes.
Exactly. Incredible. Sony Award winning.
Turing Breaks, Painkiller on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant, and Carl Pilkington.
I should point out now, Rick, that the general consensus from the listeners is that Carl should definitely be on the poster.
But I know that.
obviously.
I know.
There's an interesting email
Of course
here.
they should.
It
They're
just
right.
says, I'd love to see Carl on the poster, especially as I'm watching him on the webcam today, and wearing that shirt, doesn't he look like Charlie Brown? He looks just like Charlie Brown from the Peanuts cartoon.
Oh my God!
That's it. From now on, if anyone ever asks me what
He
Carl
does
looks
look like Charlie Brown.
He
Oh,
looks just
it's
like
great
him.
because Charlie Brown has got that thing. You've got less features than Morph. It's just a round head and there's human aspects. It's just the bare minimum. When I draw a cartoon of him, it's so easy.
Yeah.
Ah,
The thing is, right, if I go on the poster, this is what I'm worried about. Where do you go from there?
what do you mean?
Well, it's
talking about?
difficult, isn't it? Do you know, like before, you were talking about the complaint that a TV channel got about some fella putting bacon? Yeah?
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, you were talking about a fella
I didn't
who-
put the bacon on, but yeah, I was talking about it here, and they
Yeah.
got a complaint. Yeah.
Right. Now, he had to do that to get a kick. Yeah?
Yeah.
Where do you go from there? And it's the same for me on a poster. Once they've seen me,
Yeah. And we get sued by the estate of Charles M. Schultz for using
Yeah.
without copyright his most popular creation.
Oh,
it's just that if people don't know, it keeps them interested. They don't need to
They're
know
not
what I
tuning in
like.
every week on the off chance that we'll...
They're wondering what you look like.
Yeah, but the ones who are, it just keeps them...
They won't let them down there when they see your picture. It won't let them down.
It's
It won't be a
exactly,
letdown.
It's exactly as it should
Leave
be.
it. Anyway,
Yeah.
competition, yeah?
Right, let's get the answers. Let's get this out of the way. Songs of phrase.
Songs of phrase, just in case you just tuned in, it's a new feature we've been doing. We take songs and chop them up and that, and it's a phrase that has cropped up on the show a few times. This week we were going back to the classic "Me Auntie Had Wind" for 5 minutes.
That's the classic.
And let's have a,
These are the
have a
answers, is
listen.
it? Okay.
Right. So what you had there is you had the knack
Yeah.
with my Sharona.
Uh-huh.
Auntie was some Manson track.
What? You don't even know what it was.
Auntie Everything, I think it's called, some album track, right? Then you had Bill Medley, Jennifer Warnes, I've Had the Time of My
Yeah.
Life. You had Bob Dylan,
Wind.
Wind,
Idiot wind.
blowing in the wind.
Oh, blowing in the wind, was it?
What was after that? 4. 4 was 2468
4 was Bob
motorway.
Dylan.
2468 motorway.
Yeah.
Tom Robinson.
Tom
Yeah.
Robinson, yeah. That was the 4. Then you had the 5 from Manfred Man, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We wrapped it up with a bit of 5-star from Minute, something about,
Can't wait.
yeah, can't wait another
Can't
minute.
wait another minute.
So, they're the answers.
Yeah,
We're
well,
looking for someone who, I don't think we got anyone who had them all right, but
Nobody got all 7, although in your little answer list then you only listed 6, because
Yeah.
you got your numbers went out of sync in your own brain. Well done, once again. Smooth. I tell you what, Carl, why don't you next week at least write down the answers for yourself?
don't need to.
Well, you clearly do, because you get to embarrass yourself.
Don't need to. You've proved that you do.
Fine,
Right, okay.
anyway. Well done, I'm going to give it to Paul Tier. PJ Tier, because he got 5 of the 7.
Well
correct.
done.
So he gets.
And he's getting that signed Kevin Spacey
Yeah,
DVD.
if you can just email us your address as well and get them off to you today.
All right.
Brilliant.
That's
Well
what you're
done,
dealing with.
So you've done that competition, that's been put to bed.
Let's have a great tune, Rick, and then what else we got? We got some monkey news?
We've got
We've got monkey news.
We've got cheap as chimps.
We're doing the film thing.
Right.
Got the
You can
film
win-
thing. What
you
film
can-
is it this week?
Silence of the Lambs. You can be owning that by 3 o'clock on VHS.
Is it about $4.99? Is it?
Thereabouts.
'20th century boy. Come on, Mark. Some people want a 21st century boy these days. Mark Bolan there. A little bit out of date on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Right, it's that time again, isn't it? Monkey news.
Yeah, monkey news.
Oh, monkey news.
Right, if you're a new listener, this is where we do a bit of monkey news.
Oh, imagine him giving his chance on a news programme, like News Night Review or News at 10, over to Carl Pilkington. Yeah, alright. Monkey's gone mad again. Go on.
Right, we've done quite a lot of good stuff. The one that sort of kicked up most of the fuss was probably Ollie the monkey.
I love the fact that they're all monkeys. He's a chimpanzee.
Well,
It's
right.
an ape.
Well, today, right, we're looking at one that's it's called Coco.
Oh yeah, the sign language one.
Well, what I've read about him is he speaks, right?
Oh, God.
Highly educated.
Yeah.
Photographer.
Carl!
Right?
I love the fact that when he gets a gifted ape, he has to look up to him. He realises that he is superior. I love that. Oh.
And he also likes going on computer chat rooms.
I can't take this anymore, Steve. I'm going to be sick. Oh, God.
Which, right, that's pretty amazing.
You know, if an infinite number of monkeys are in an infinite number of chat rooms, they'll eventually type, which is your favourite episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Exactly, yeah. Carl Pilkington, you're an idiot.
But the thing is, right, you're saying about the infinite thing again, about monkeys, if you put them in a room with a typewriter, they'll come up with Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I'd sort of agree with that, right, with monkeys who can't do other stuff, but this one I reckon's going to be busy taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I think monkeys that are boring.
Is there a boring monkey? Would you ever have a chimp and you'd go, Suzanne would go, I've got your birthday present, and it's a chimp fella, he's about, about a sort of like a middle-aged chimp.
No, I'd love it. I'm talking
Would
on
you ever
behalf
go,
of
I'll tell you what, Suzanne, that one's boring.
No, but I bet the monkey would get bored, I mean. Do you know what I mean? The monkey would be bored. I'd be loving it. I'd love to have a little monkey. Right? But what I'm saying is...
You really would, wouldn't you?
If you buy him a camera, he'd be happy again, wouldn't he?
Well... Yeah, but that's just it. You wouldn't get him it's like... If you can do other stuff, you don't want to do the boring stuff.
Forget the typing, forget the monkey's typing. Talk about this monkey that's a photographer.
No,
What
but
you
we
talk-
are in a way. I'm just saying that would be happier... Monkeys that have got nothing else to do, if they can't take pictures and that, and they can't go on chat rooms...
They're happy to sit in a room typing away for infinity, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But he's got maybe a little exhibition to put on.
Do you think...
Do you know that most chimps and apes and monkeys still actually just live in trees? These are in laboratories and zoos and things. You know that's not the norm. these monkeys
Yeah.
walking around, sort of chatting and riding bikes.
Yeah.
You know, that's not natural.
Exactly.
No, I know, but it's...
If you left a bike in the jungle and then came back a few years later, there wouldn't be monkeys riding around on it. And a book. If you left a bike with a book in the basket, right, and you went away for 10 years and you came back, there wouldn't be a whole new transport system and schools.
No.
They'd eat it. They'd throw it round and eat it.
Alright then, so what you're saying is you can't... You see, what I think is, right, and don't take this the wrong way in that, right, Stephen Hawking,
Yes.
right, now he had a bad illness. Now, I wonder if he'd be... I wonder if he'd be as bright as he is if he didn't have that.
Right.
Because he's had time to sit down, he's like, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
They've gone give him a book. And he read it. I like that. Give us another one.
Yes.
He's got a lot of time on his hands.
Yes.
Now, what I'm saying is, monkeys... Yeah,
Right.
This one here, Coco, which I think was a gorilla,
Right.
right? That wouldn't have been happy on a little keyboard, just doing that all
Typing
day,
away.
because it'd be going, well, I could be out taking pictures.
Sure.
Play a record!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Play a record!
Yeah.
Done.
You're an idiot!
There it was. There's the catchphrase. Once more.
He is! He's an idiot!
Sure.
Athlete, El Salvador, on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, the amazing Steve Merchant and the incredible Carl Pilkington. Alright? Right, we've done that. Monkey news. Right, straight. Let's hit them dead. Let's go straight with Cheap as Chimps, Carl.
Right, well, this will probably finish today, to be honest.
Oh,
right? Because what if we looked at Cheap as Chimps, we found out that...
They eat one banana. Next, go on, do
They
this
eat one
one.
banana
Yeah,
a day and that.
yeah, that's
Right,
it. Brilliant.
So what...
It was a long-running feature. Go on.
What? Sorry, can I just ask again, what are the rules with Cheapest Chimps?
It's just, you know, if you wanted a chimp, how much would it sort of cost you?
Brilliant. Title come first?
So, yeah,
Yeah.
as always, that's the way they do it, right? Cheap as Chimps. I thought I'll go online and see, you know, if I could buy one. How much do you reckon?
£6,000.
To buy a chimp?
Yeah.
Oh no, ridiculous amount. Where can you buy them from? What sources? You shouldn't be able to buy them.
eBay.
What do you mean? Buy a chimp? From who?
There was this website that was selling stuff.
What, you could actually
What are you talking about?
Right, here we go then, right? I looked at it. Here's some of the other animals that were on there.
No, wait a minute. What, are these poachers?
I don't know.
What, zoos that got bored with them? Where can you buy a chimp?
I don't want to give it a plug.
Right,
Some
go on then.
website, right?
So what are the other animals available?
Right, well, I'll give you some prices with the other animals, then you can try and work out if it's cheap as chimps, right? So, right, a camel. What do you reckon?
£25,000.
Right, $8,000 for a camel, right? Sloth,
40 quid.
$3,000.
Right.
Last one, Bengal tiger,
Oh, that's got to be pricey. $12,000.
$1,800.
What?
Yeah.
Carl, this is an awful website. That can't be true, mate.
Right,
That's
so,
awful.
a chimp,
Well, a chimp,
$5,000.
I'm going to go with $1,000.
55,000.
What?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know what to say because this is rubbish anyway. What website can you buy? Okay, get me a tiger. Here's £1,000. Get me a tiger.
well, I don't know.
You're an idiot.
Postage and packages and...
Sorry, so where does the cheapest chimps element come in?
Well, that's sort
Aren't
of
you supposed to
rounds it up.
shout, it's cheapest chimps at the end?
Well, it isn't. That's why I want to finish the feature.
I don't know what is the cheapest chimps?
Oh, this is amazing. This is amazing broadcasting.
So,
We're up for a Sony Award, aren't we? I hope they're listening because it's ours.
Yeah.
I mean, it must,
got it in
with
the
features like Cheap as Chips, it's ending because they're not.
bag. It's in the bag.
And do
Chris.
you remember? Here's Athlete.
Can't stop the spirits when they need you. This life is more than just a read through.
Can't stop the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Well, I've got news for you boys. I don't want to stop you. I love your funk rock fusion. Word of warning, no nudity. Repeat, no nudity at this gig.
I do it like you. I think you should host a whole show like that. It's lovely. Have you ever done any, like DJ, like proper DJing, like in a pub or a club? Because I know Karl had his own. I had my own disco when I was a kid.
Yeah, not proper. I had a gig once when I had to, it was 2 nights a week in the local pub. Just the 2 decks that was in a suitcase, you know, those sort of all-in-one thing. And they just wanted the same records. They wanted, Rod Stewart, Baby Jane. They wanted, about 11:15 when they were all drunk, they wanted, Don McLean's American Pie, which they all sang along to.
Yeah.
Uptown Girl they liked.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't used to do the talking.
Did you do the patter?
No, I couldn't. I just
don't
understand it. I just love those wedding sort of DJs that they have to give you extra information. They can't just play a song. They have to say things like, "Ooh, all the way back there in the Commodore's easy." It's sort of like they have to tell you something. Who's listening? They're just going to play the next record.
It's a wedding. Yeah. It's like doing what? There's like the controller of a local radio station listening. It just happens to be at the wedding, thinking, "Hang on,
hold on, he's played a record, but he's got extra information." Well, they should do useful things at a wedding, like will the overweight aunt in the purple dress please now take the floor with little unfortunate kid and let him hop around.
As the dance floor is currently empty, will any 8-year-old boys wearing those tiny tuxedos please slide across the dance floor on their knees? Until they are taken home and put to bed early.
I went to one once. And the bloke who'd hired it went to the DJ, and this DJ that had come with this sort of party wanted a 70s disco, and he looked like Woody Allen, right? And I was sure he used to be a gentleman's outfitters, like, and he said, "Oh, I wanted a 70s disco," and he went, "Well, I've got Bicycle Race by Queen lined up, I've got ELO, and I've got Cliff We Don't Talk Anymore, so," and he went, "Well, I went sort of more disco." He went, "I don't really want to blow all my Earth, Wind and Fire before 10. But it's like all planned.
There is a rule. There are rules. Will the 17-year-old girl who's dressed like Avril Lavigne please tut loudly because I still haven't played anything by Linkin Park?
Will the 45-year-old woman recently divorced please cry now?
Yeah,
please cry now.
Please cry now because it's clear you're never going to find another man. Because you used to be a DJ, didn't you? Because there is a sort of rule, definitely. I remember there was like, you know, what I learned was that there are certain tunes you just do not play early on. Oh, What a Night, for instance.
Dun, 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 yeah.
People, you never play that before like 11. You want that last hour before they've got to go home to be non-stop dancing.
When would you pop on Dancing Queen?
Interesting, thanks for that. Is there a buffet being served?
Yes.
Yeah, well, definitely post-buffet. I remember there was great days. I was reminded of this recently by ITV's Reborn in the USA. There was a great time where you could come out of the buffet or any kind of speech with a bit of Gina G. I remember there was a great period for a couple of years where that was always a barnstormer.
Sure.
Sadly, no longer the case. What about, because the danger is, of course, you go back to the 70s, maybe you got Dancing Queen, but how many do you play before you come into the 80s with perhaps Billie Jean?
Or Soft Cell.
Soft Cell's always a classic, yeah. I'd love to hear that. And, because there's always controversy now, as to whether Love Shack is overplayed. I know that's a big discussion now.
I've never liked it. I just like, will any 35-year-old men please now dance ironically to Bombastic in the vain hope that someone would actually find them attractive?
What
Love Shack? Oh no, never liked
Come
it.
on, Eileen?
I never, yeah, alright. I just never liked any records that with a hint of novelty about them.
They are popular, they're floor fillers.
I hate them. You
haven't done DJing, have you?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
Singing on the other side of your face.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
And you didn't play Dexter's Midnight Runners?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't plan it out that much when I did it. It was like, I knew I had the tights and cigars to give away.
Yeah.
Which he stole from his parents' bedroom beforehand.
Yeah.
Why were you giving away stuff at a disco anyway? Why weren't you just playing records?
Because people liked it, didn't they? If it wasn't...
It hasn't changed. We're doing this. We talk rubbish, we play records, and we give away crap that we found.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed, has it?
And, so I had some good times. I mean, for people who haven't been listening all the time, it was called Pilkins Making Music.
Yeah,
It was like Pilkington, and my mate was called something Making, and the music was what we played, right? And I had some cards made, had some nice blue glossy cards made, but they were quite expensive.
Yeah.
So I used to hand them out, and then they'd say cheers for that, and say, no, write it down. Write the number down, I want that back.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Because they were quite pricey.
Yeah. Classy businessman there.
I think Richard Branson used to do that.
I think so, yeah.
Saved a bit of money, because my dad made some some lights, sonny. He just like...
He said he made them, he found them in a telephone box.
The-
People were making phone calls in the dark. Round the neighbourhood.
Exactly.
It was just white bulbs in like a box, and like my mate making, he used to just flick them on and off, like the thing, and then they'd be in time with the music and that. And
Perfect.
Well, you had to sit there and flick
I
the
love
lights
that.
on
I
and
love
off.
that. We got a sound to light system. What's his name? Colin.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
right, so
Did you ever
did
rent
that.
him out?
Right, well, we never had any disasters, right? But my mate did one, right? And I don't know if it's that funny, really, but it.
Go
Well,
on.
I'll tell you anyway, right? He was doing this gig, and it was probably one of the biggest gigs, right, that he ever had. Must have been a couple of hundred people there, and in like a big sort of warehouse thing. Anyway, for some reason, there was some problem with a big speaker that fell, right? So the police turn up and stuff.
Right.
And they try to control the night, and they're going, can everyone sit down? We try to control it. Can you sit down? So anyway, you get a few like little groups of people sitting down on the floor, and people were still stood up, and the police were saying, look, you know, we're going to cancel this whole night if you don't all sit down, and more people are sort of sitting down. It's going on for about 20-odd minutes, right? Will you please sit down? And it gets to this point when there's just one lad stood up in the middle. And he's going, look, you're ruining it for everyone. Will you sit down? And it goes quiet for a bit, and someone's muttering something. And he goes, the lad standing up has got calipers on his legs. Can we have a round of applause for the kid?
Who said that?
It was this lad who was doing the DJ. He was the DJ. So, like, they kept the police and everything were saying, well, you sit down, you're ruining it for everyone else.
Dear. You know, the quick way to sort that out would have been to play
Play
upside your
James.
head.
Yeah.
Or sit down. Yeah.
But most of mine were, I had good nights.
Yeah.
Always got rebooked and stuff, and...
I had a bunch of venture scouts went mental once, had a food fight.
What
They
were
just went
you
crazy.
playing to Venture Scouts for?
Well, we got booked by everyone, Rick. I mean, we started with weddings and local, things, but we soon went up. At one point we played a massive gig in a big tent in the middle of nowhere for some scouts, and they absolutely loved us. Rage Against the Machine. Oh, they couldn't believe their luck.
Do you know when they say weddings and bar mitzvahs? Do they get a lot of discos playing bar mitzvahs? Is that a big? I don't know.
assuming so.
What happens at a bar mitzvah?
Well, I've not never been to a bar mitzvah.
Could
Not
someone
been invited,
phone in if you've had a little bar mitzvah? Tell me what it was like. What did you play at a bar mitzvah? I don't know what the occasion is really. It's becoming a man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. We learned something, won't we, Carl?
Yeah, all right. Do you want them to phone in?
Yeah.
Do we?
Well,
Okay.
I want to know if they really do have DJs at bar mitzvahs.
All right.
Oh, wait,
How
700.
interested are you in that?
Well, I don't want to embarrass myself one day.
Sure.
That's Carl, you've got to learn, haven't you?
I'll tell you what, have we got time for the film thing as well?
Yeah, play the film thing now.
No. Let's play a tune.
Carl asked us what happens. He said, you just sit around and see the kid who's getting bar mitzvah, or the man now, get given loads of money.
Right.
And I said, is there a female equivalent? And apparently there is a female equivalent of a bar mitzvah, but she didn't know what it was called.
What's that? A bar mitzvah.
Right, I'm just going to add to the list of people we've offended. Sorry to Jewish people as well.
Yeah, we've got to just.
So sorry to Jewish people,
Jewish people.
sorry to Chinese people, sorry to Welsh people.
Ugly fat women.
Well, don't put the Welsh in twice. Sorry to Elvis fans.
Elvis fans. Animal lovers.
Animal lovers. Brilliant. Well, lovers of great radio.
Yeah.
That was, music lovers. Good, well, sorry about that.
Apologies to all of you.
Yeah, and,
We haven't even had time for, we haven't got time for the film thing this week.
oh, why not?
Just, it's running tight, really.
Are you sure?
We haven't done Cheeky Freak of the Week.
That's a new feature, isn't it?
That's a new feature.
Cheeky Freak of the Week. Let's do Cheeky Freak of the Week. What is the cheekiest freak of the week? So I'm just going to apologise now. I've just had freaks. Sorry to freaks. Okay, right, go ahead.
Well, I say it's a new feature, but we've sort of touched on it in the past with
We always talk about freaks.
Hairy Chinese Kid.
Yeah.
We've had, The Pillow Man.
Yeah. Oh, you called a draft excluder.
Just make a note of that, would you, Rick, on the
Yeah.
list?
People without arms and legs.
But at least, you see, the Pillow Man, what do you picture? Because I was saying to Ricky in the week, right, I'm a great fan of the Elephant Man.
That's his, you know, that's his favourite freak.
Of
the
all
Elephant
the
Man.
freaks, that's
Do
it.
you know why he said, he said, because you get what you pay for. When someone says the Elephant Man, you get what it says on the tin. You know you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Do you imagine, Steve, if you had a mate, and you said, where are you going? He said, I'm going to go and see my mate. And you go, which mate? And he said, the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Straight away, you haven't even met him, but you know what he's going to look like.
Yes.
Right? That's what I like about that. Hairy Chinese kid.
Yeah, you know what you're gonna get.
Pillow Man.
Yeah.
Not so good.
What does that mean?
It could be one of those big fat things on that show, couldn't it? A big pillow, like a.
Yeah.
You know, they had, you know that big thing about the fat people and feeders. They were getting up to like 60 stone and that big one. And there's a thing called fat admirers that just fancy fat women, right? And
You writing that down?
yeah, sorry, and they had blow up versions. It looked like a bouncy castle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. You'd be knackered when you blew that up.
Yeah,
you just wouldn't want to go forget it.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Well,
I
there's people being cruel as well, isn't it? Because after watching the programme on Channel 4 about the fat people and fellas who like them and stuff, there was a story on one of the news websites about some fella in Germany, right? He was a big fella, must have been about 50 stone, and he fell over, right? And I think he hurt his ankle or something. And
timber.
they sent firemen instead of like an ambulance.
Yeah,
So straight away they're having a bit of a laugh.
they're not. No, they've got winching gear.
Well, they didn't know. They didn't have winching gear. They had to use the hose pipes
What?
to carry him out. I think it was Anna Nova, that news website. They had to use the hose pipes, so they made like a bed using the hose pipes
Oh yeah.
and had to carry him out on that. And then they had to sort of get him into a special truck, they said, and do the same when they got to the hospital. I mean, that's a bit...
That's mad, isn't it?
They shouldn't do that.
Although, Carl, I'm loving that story. I'm just worried that we're not going to be able to fit in Cheeky Freak of the Week.
What's
So
the
which is
Cheeky
one
Freak
you've
of the week?
nominated?
Alright, Cheeky Freak of the Week. Something I found on the net.
Yeah.
Fella who had 27 toes and fingers.
In a jar.
No, still on him. And proper ones as well, not like little stumps and that. Proper, fully formed fingers. He
Was
had
it-
like...
Was he a pianist? Close-up magician.
I don't know what he did. He just said that he was...
Cat's cradle professional.
Did he ever work on finger bobs?
He was saying in the week,
For the crowd scenes.
I'm now going to do Braveheart. He said about the Elephant Man. He said, I want to do a thing right with freaks, where it's good and bad. He went, what did you said? The pro about him is,
What about the fella with loads of fingers, or...?
no, the Elephant Man.
Well, he...
He said the bad thing is he stretches his jumpers.
When he puts them on. Yeah. And what's the good thing?
Sort of... He never gets up and goes, oh, my hair's a bit of a mess today.
No. He's always having another bad face day.
I'd like to complain about this head and shoulders. Are you taking the piss?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So that's freaky...
Didn't you see an elephant woman in Manchester?
Yeah, leave that.
What do you mean, leave it?
No, because it is sad.
I know it's sad, but I mean, I don't know what my next sentence is.
No, people always
That
think...
should be the end.
Did
I don't need
oh,
to say anymore, people will know what she looks like. It's a good name for her.
did she like buns? Oh dear.
It was when my dad was a taxi driver and I used to sit in the front,
Yeah.
and she used to get a lot of taxis.
Yeah.
And,
And he only charged you half price, didn't he? He was a good guy.
well, the bad thing is as well with people like that, you don't want to offend them because they never forget.
Oh, go!
But,
Go, Pilkington!
I was sat in the front of the cab and my dad goes, right, we're going to go and pick the, I can't even tell you the name of these guys, it's just evil.
What do you
Right.
mean?
No, leave it, so she's got...
No!
No,
Carl!
please.
Tell me what he said!
No.
You've already stitched him up with Stephen things from Little Welsh
I don't
fellas.
care.
Right, what did he call her?
Steve, back
No!
up on this, I really
Carl,
don't want
to be
to...
fair, our opinion of him is already pretty low.
Look, tell me what he said.
No, it's not, I'm scared of what my dad gets, it's the person who's got the
She's
thing
not
wrong.
listening, is she?
Well, her headphones wouldn't fit on her head.
Tell me what he called her!
I don't want to.
Tell me what he called her, Carl. I'm getting angry, man. Tell me what he called her.
No, I'll leave that. Honestly,
Tell me what he...
It doesn't matter.
Tell me what he called her! Carl, just... I'm gonna go...
Seriously, I want to know what he called her.
Right, you're not gonna stop this show. We're not doing the next show until you tell me what he called her.
What did your father call the elephant-head woman?
Tell me.
Spudhead.
How old were you?
I don't know, about 9.
So did you expect to see a potato with a dress?
He did sort of, again, it's a good name. Do you know what I mean? They had an idea of what it was going to be about, and he said, do you want to stay in the car? I'll take you home, because you can't...
Spudheads, you got lovely eyes.
Can't. Come on. That's it, by the way.
Is that all of it?
Cheers. Bye.
Brilliant. Well, let's end with LL Cool J. Make it
Yeah.
See you next week.
See ya.